Ready? Okay, so hello, my name's David, and this is the fixture display scrubber, and I'm going to go ahead and communicate the different functions of the scrubber. So over here, we have the key, and that's the first thing we do is we turn it on. So there's the key, and then once that's on, and just to demonstrate too, there's a light on here, nice bright light, which is a very good feature. And then we have a horn too for safety. Okay, these two levers here, and there's very flexible, operate the brush. Okay, so when I bring this one on the right down, the brush goes down and it's ready for brushing. Okay, when I lift it, and if I drive it at the end, I make sure that that brush is up. And then this is for the squeegee in the back. And that's that lever too. So that's for vacuuming and for suction of the water for cleaning. So this is the steering wheel, this is the seat. And I do want to let you know this is where we put the water too, right here, okay? Make sure that that's on nice and tight. And before I start the operation of it, these two buttons are the most important features because this is for the vacuuming actually, for the brushing and the suction, and this is the brush here. So when I start the machine, I put both on, okay, and right now the brush is on the up position, and once they're both on for brushing and for suction, I'm ready to scrub. Okay. At the end of the video, I'll show you how we discharge the water. And then also this, when I push it to the right, that gives me more water. And to the left, I get less water in the brush. So I want as much water as I can go. So when we start scrubbing, we make sure that both of the buttons are on for the brush and for the scrubber, and both these levers have to be down when we start scrubbing, and that's going to be for the brush and the squeegee in the back. Okay. So now we know we're going to be getting water, and we're going to start the scrubbing process. Okay. This switch goes forward. When that's forward and I press on the accelerator, it allows me to go. So now at this small area, so you can get an idea of how excellent this machine works. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. If you slow down, it puts down a little bit of fume and the brush is off. And I'm going to pick this up. So my brush is up now. This way I'm not dropping water. And I also want to communicate over here. There is a on-off water lever here. And when you go down, the water's now off. And I like to shut that off when I discharge. Okay? You got to have that up when you're using the brusher. This way you get water. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift this. And you can see inside there what we just picked up, that small area. You put some light there. And you can see that we vacuumed up that small area. Of course, if you do larger, it keeps getting more in there. And then what happens is I'm going to show you how we discharge it now. So, which is the last step. All right, so I will drive it over towards the dock. There's not much water in there. But if it was full, then we would very simply... Oh yes, and this also is the water level. It shows you how much water is in there. So we're almost empty. We still have some left in there. So we can continue scrubbing or we can refill it. But that's the water gauge. And then there's not much in there, so but this is if when we discharge and this is full, we use this for the discharge. Okay, and then we would open this up and it would come out. But right now, again, there's not much water in there, so there's a little bit. If it was, we did a very small portion of the floor, so typically when we use all the water, there's a lot of water that discharges there, and that's how we do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that back, and that's pretty much it. The wheels are for safety, so we don't do damage, and it's very flexible. This is called a squeegee, and there's a rubber part here, and that's what allows us to pick up the dirt as well. But you can see from the floor, it does quite a good job.
Thank you for buying this 15761 floor scrubber cleaner from Fixture Displays. This right-arm machine is a super efficient machine and does a fabulous job keeping your shop floor spotless. In this video, we're going to show you step-by-step instructions how to use this equipment. This section is the clean water supply, and this is where you would fill water. And the blue section is dirty water storage, and then you have the brushes or wheel portion as well as the squeegee and suction portion. And this is the discharge for dirty water, and you have a cap. After discharging, you want to keep that closed and put the hose back into the channel. This connects to the dirty water supply. When you're ready to use, and you're going to flip this sideways and then insert this hose. This basically connects the collection from the floor into the storage section of dirty water. And that little cutout allows your tube to go into the dirty water tank. And this is a twin battery, 24 volts, 100 amps hours. You have a nice steering wheel, key switch, and this is for the scrubber, and this is for the suction, and this is a lever for the scrubber and lever for the squeegee suction portion. When not in use, you want to put that in the up position and vice versa. When ready to use, you let those two key elements down. You turn on the motor, and then you turn on the individual motors for the scrubber as well as the suction motor. And this is forward, neutral, and backward. There's a horn you press that will give you a beeping sound. And once you turn the machine on, you press the gas pedal. It will advance if you set it in forward. When your foot is removed from the gas pedal, it brakes right away. And if you set it in reverse, it will go back. And make sure when you try to reverse, your two motors must be in off position. Now we're going to try to fill some water, and this is not a recommended way to do that. A proper hose is the way to do so. This is the charger. Come with a very long cable, about 70-80 inches, and work with 110 volts American type of plug. Now this is a 24 volt 15 amp charger, and this is the port to charge. Now we want to show you this little lever toward the bottom. This controls the amount of water you dispense, and if your floor is fairly dirty, you want to use a lot of water, then you want to set it in the high setting, and vice versa. These are some basic tools that you and parts you may want to purchase. This is squeegee, a set of wrenches, and tools. You can contact us cs.charliesam@fixturedisplays.com to purchase these parts. We're going to show you how to install the squeegee. We want to first remove the assembly by turning the two wing nuts and then pull this back from the harness. I'm going to disconnect the suction tube. And then we're going to loosen the clamp. Then you can remove or install the squeegee. You just want to make sure the cutout hole matches up to the male counterparts so they stay in place nicely. I encourage you to browse fixturedisplays.com for other products and services we have to offer, such as warehouse balers, forklift, and any other equipment. You can contact us. We also custom make, take about 3 months all in, and we definitely offer a great deal of value for your money and provide full support for maintaining your equipment. And this is how it looks in use. Remember, when you try to reverse, these two motors must be in off position. In the middle, there is a light button that allows you to have lights at dark conditions. And then that glass covered piece is the emergency stop. In certain conditions, it will engage automatically. The light is on the lower portion of the machine. It's hard to see, but yeah, you'll see that there's a little blink. In the scrubber section, there are two different types, wind-up brushes. The other is a buffing wheel. Depending on your particular condition of your flooring, you may use one or the other or both in a rotation. To remove this, you want to get the plate off and then access that particular screw. Undo the screw, allow you to twist the wheel off. The screw and then this bar simply is a stopper. Keep the locking mechanism on. As you can see, this wheel has 3 nuts, and these 3 nuts work against the plate to lock into position. Now this is the receiver. You want to make sure all 3 screws got onto the channel properly, and then turn clockwise so as the nut goes all the way down in this position. Make sure all 3 are engaged. Then you can put on that bracket that we took off earlier. The space is a little hard to access, but once you know where it's at, it's not difficult to do. As you can see, this particular scrubbing wheel will do a finer job to get dirt off your floor. Assume that you have already gone through the basic brushing. Thank you once again for shopping Fixture Displays.